Hey guys, gals, I'm back. I wanted to show you real quick what I do when I want to uh, pull dirt up on around my plants. Basically, I'm creating a small levee. That way when I water, that water runs right down my row, right on top of my plants, right where I want them. I'm not watering the middles between them. It just works out good that way. You don't have to have near as much water and waste as much water. It all goes right where you want it to go. I'm going to set that up and show you that real quick. As you can see, the soil is tilled up real nice, and basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to do that right there and just walk along, and I'm going to pull that levee. It's already got some water one right there, but I pull a little bit more, and I just do the same thing on the other side. And now I can just drop that water hose in there. Now that I've got that little levee, just drop that water hose in there and let that water run right on down through there. And water that road. I'll do that. Oops, there goes my microphone again. I will do that on all my rows where I'll need to water them and run water down. Now on these squash and zucchini, typically what I do is I'll take a hoe. I'll make me just a little furrow right here along each side, like that. And when I make that furrow, I'll put water in that. I don't want to water right on top of that hill. I want to do it on the side. And when you water your squash and zucchini plants, make sure you do it either real early in the morning or after dark in the evening. That way the soil has time to cool off. Otherwise, you'll steam those. And if you do, they'll get that gray mildew on them and it'll kill them. So you want to make sure you water at the right time on those things. Hey guys, I'm just going to show you the garden again real quick for a couple of different things. Of course, everything's going pretty good, all the peppers and everything. But what I wanted to show you on a kind of a side note is you see these flowers are moss roses. That's what they're called. These I had in a flower pot last year, and every time it creates a flower, it will make a seed pod. Like right here, this was a bloom. That will create a seed pod. And those will be full of little bitty seeds. There's another one. Those will be full of little seeds. And what I did last year is I took those and I took them out here. I just chunked them in the garden, and I beat all the potting mix out of the roots. And when I did, all those seeds fell down into the garden and they popped up. And that pot, that flower pot right there, this one, that one, and this one out here all came out of my garden. They just popped up everywhere, and I just put them back in these pots and put some more potting mix in them. And you can see those are going to be giving some flowers out. They're growing pretty quick because I transplanted these. All these are transplants out of the garden, and you can see how healthy they are. They're just beautiful, but they're kind of like a succulent. I'm getting some, these are my hot jalapenos here. I'm getting a few little ones in there, nothing extreme just yet. But all my tomato plants, if you look, have tomatoes in there. Let's see, yep, right there. And then on here, there's another one that's about ripe. I got my first ripe ones this week, so that's a good thing. There's some more in here. Sometimes they're hard to spot. They'll get a little bit bigger. Now these two tomato plants here are the ones that I thought were going to die. And these are the Romas, and they're actually, let's see, if you look right down in there, there's little Roma tomatoes down in there. There's quite a few of them. And the other plant has some on it as well. Now these tomato plants, these are the Arkansas Travelers, and they're doing really, really good. They're getting, I don't know, they're probably 2+ feet tall now, about 2.5 feet tall. But they've got tomatoes on them as well. And my cherry tomato here, it's doing real good. My marigolds, I had to replant them after that freeze, and they're all doing pretty good. And that helps keep the aphids off those tomatoes. Oh, and this must have popped up from last year, and the tomato fell on the ground, and it's blooming, and I don't really have a clue what kind of tomato plant it is, but I'm just going to let it grow. It just popped up wild. But I wanted to show you my blackberries. they are really looking good. I mean, they're all over. I don't know how well you can see them with the sun. All I do is I shoot my videos. There's a good shot down through there. Let me see. Let me go from this angle. But yeah, there we go. But anyway, those are all blackberries, and they're all looking really, really good. They're going to be all right. I'm glad I did this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, and then after I did, I'm glad I did, because they're everywhere. Even down inside, back down inside there, you can see all kinds of blackberries back up in there. But they're going to be just gobs of them this year. But anyway, that's kind of what's going on, and it's getting pretty hot. All you can do is just tend stuff as best you can, water it when it needs it, and I water usually, depending on how hot, once you get in the upper 80s to 90s, you're not getting any rain. I usually water about 2 to 3 times a week on most of my stuff. You don't really need to water a whole lot, especially if you're watering just right where the row is. About 2 to 3 times a week. And if you'll do that, you'll have a great garden. And like I say, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm fixing to plant a couple more pepper plants. They're called tricolor peppers. They're, I think, yellow, purple, and red. But anyway, they're a sweet pepper for cooking with. But that right here, that open spot you see in the garden right there, that is going to be where my watermelons and cantaloupes go. I'm going to pull a hill for each of them, and I'll just let that have a whole space for all the vines to go. So, but that's it. That's where we're at. Nice to talk to y'all. Hit subscribe and like if you like what you see. Just hit subscribe and like. I'd appreciate it. And y'all have a great day. Thank you.